Good evening. I usually tend to overthink every single thing, and it has good outcomes and bad outcomes both. Um, it is very rare that I have a clear answer or even a clear last thought. So it usually happens like a tree grows, the trunk is very strong, and then you get like different branches, and then you get leaves, and every leaf is like the last instance, like the last shape of existence. But there are multiple leaves, and one leaf cannot be better than other leaf. So I cannot choose my leaf. I cannot choose the best one. And also with seasons, those leaves, they change the color, they just, disappear, they fly away. But also, it's also one of the it's also one of the parallels for me to keep myself strong, because I know that the trunk is always with me, and the trunk is my inner self. Even though the leaves, like, they change their color, they die, they get born again, and the branches, they might crack and disappear, and somebody may eat some whatever berries out of it, right? The trunk is always there. I have seen some earthquakes in Japan where the trunk was almost excavated when it was a big tornado or a typhoon or something. Because typhoons, they are sometimes unpredictable, uncontrollable. You cannot really even predict the damage that they may cause. So unless there's a typhoon or an earthquake or a tornado or something, I mean, most of the times the trunk should be okay. Then first, when the tree is born, the trunk is very thin, let's say. And then with years, it gets thicker and thicker and bigger and bigger. The more circles it gets inside, right? If you got it like this, you'll see the circles. So these are typically called circles of life of the tree. And, well, I would say in that term, my trunk is pretty young and it's pretty thin at this point of my life. But however, the trunk being thin, it carries a lot of weight on it. Like, it carries a lot of leaves, and they constantly change colors as if it was like not 4 seasons but 12 or 15. So it's too much for the trunk, like a lot of times. And I'm learning how to strengthen my trunk. That's a very hard job, and I think there is no right way to do this, because every tree is individual, every tree is different from the other one, and you cannot compare them. Like, you cannot compare a birch to an oak, because they grow into different thickness, let's say. And I still don't know which type of the trunk I am, but I would say I'm not the oak one right now. I'm more of a birch, like a very vivid and like has a lot going on in her head. So I also wanted to share a thought about resistance that I'm experiencing right now in my life, and well, it's genuinely about what we're afraid to do, and what we feel most uncomfortable will actually make us stronger. I have two examples. One example is cold shower, and the second example is wound healing and relationship. And both are very similar, because you don't want to be going through pain, but then eventually you'll understand, okay, I actually feel much better than before I had done it. So I get in my comfort zone. Let's talk about the cold shower, right? I get in my comfort zone and I take a hot shower. It's winter in Japan right now. You see, I'm wearing this even though I have my air conditioner on. I'm trying to to kind of have my own like space and time here to unwind. But of course it's abnormal to go and take a cold shower, right? Like it's abnormal that you go and do something that you're trying to escape. So cold, like let's say coldness, we were trying to escape low temperature or something. But then let's say the body temperature of a normal person is around 36, 37, and normal water, like the temperature of a normal water that we usually take shower with is not more than 40 to 41 degrees, let's say. So it's not actually that different. And then the sensation of the skin, of course, you cannot feel that it's like 40 or something. Sometimes you touch your hands and it's like, oh my god, the hands are so cold. Shh, let's make some friction, let's make it warmer, right? But then from what do you create this warmness? You have that energy inside of you. Alright, then you go into a cold shower. Let's say 20 to 30 degrees, depending on the harshness you wanna try. 20 to 30 degrees is like a good light water, like summer water, let's say. Then lower is kind of for cold baths or even like lakes in winter. Not even in winter, but still. Your brain fears the fact that the body will be touched by something lower than its own temperature. And I'm just having this flow of information right now. If you are afraid to take in something that you don't even consider on your level, or like it works both ways. Let's say it's too much, too big, too cool, too expensive for you, or it's too low, too cold, too cheap, too like low of a level, let's say, right? The brain resists. It's reluctant to like any direction because both are extremes, let's say. So you're in the middle and you're in a comfort zone, and it's a great thing. You are experiencing what we all need to experience, which is harmony and balance. However, there is no harmony and balance unless there are extremes. So, to me in my life, what I have found during this like years, and I'm still finding it out, like I'm not saying that I know this, no, but what I notice is the more often I go to the extremes, the easier it is for me to find the balance. Because I cannot stay in one point all the time. I cannot be in the middle all the time. I need to travel back and forth in order to kind of balance myself somewhere here. And even a little friction, you know, like you control the fire like this, you say. And it's not that I control my fire, I control the air. And I'm making this little you see, like I'm making this little friction all the time. So giving yourself a chance to experience that friction and outbalance yourself in order to come back to balance is a great resistance training. So, for example, by taking a cold shower, of course you cannot do it out of a sudden, of course, no. Out of the blue, no. You go in a very cold morning, you go and take in a very cold bath, you take a cold shower, like probably your organism is gonna be so stressed that you're like, I'm never gonna do it again, because we are used to this, right? Then once you kind of learn how to put a little bit of resistance there every day, even the coldest water will not be. You will not be reluctant to it. It will not be your enemy anymore, because you will know that, oh, I already know what this kind of thing is, right? And then, let's say, what we all know about what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, it really works in terms of this resistance training. And even in the relationships with people, with your partner, with your parents, with yourself, resistance is always welcome in my life, because there is a huge chance to learn and grow. And it comes to my knowledge that everything I do, everything I always everything I ever tried to do is for me to learn something, to be there, to be out there, to try, to get myself, to make myself experience that thing. And for some reason, I'm still being dragged around by, expectations or maybe attachments. And that's okay, because attachment is also a form of a human experience. So when I learned in yoga that detachment is the only way, all those super great things, it all sounds to me that we need to deny our human experience in order to accept and dig the path to the highest consciousness. And that is also in a way like a path of resistance, because you put yourself out there, you deny satisfaction, you deny all those pleasant pleasures of the world, and it does bring you some kind of valuable experience, but then it's again one of the extremes, and you need to experience another one in order to find the balance. So the balance is always when there are two ends. You go there and there and then there, and then you finally meet that. And then you again go there, and then you again meet it. So life is non-linear, and resistance is the way to experience it. So if you feel extreme emotions, or you cannot control yourself, or you're complete opposite, you don't feel anything, you don't feel anger, you don't think that you could be experiencing that much of emotion, because I used to be both. I used to think that I'm not able to feel human emotions because I was not able to fall in love or whatever. But then I thought, oh my god, I'm too emotional, I'm over emotional, I'm overreacting, I'm over exaggerating, I'm over. Let's say I'm too much. And then just because I have experienced both ways, and I'm still I'll be experiencing more and more, let's say, up to the point that I'm in this point of my life, you say, I'm trying to find the balance between those extremes. And the deeper I go into one thing, like the field or topic or experience, the further I need to go to experience the opposite of that, and then come back to that extremum closer, and then again a little closer here, and then a little closer here, and that find the balance here. Very, very important to me recently. In this way, I think I'm waking up. I'm on my way to waking up to my true authentic self in the point of my being here, because in the end we all seek that. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope that those thoughts, if you're experiencing something like that, I hope they don't bring you out of your balance and harmony too much, and you always remember that you have your trunk. So I'll talk about it in a different video and a different topic again. See you.